Hi everyone, it's Bridget with Bees Altered Designs. Almost forgot who I was there. I am going to do a quick process video on how I put together my mannequin pin cushions. I will put the links below where you can print this pattern out, and the YouTube channel for the DIY dish with their tutorial on how they do it. Anyways, once you've printed out the pattern, you want to cut your material out. Now I doubled this because I'm going to make two out of this material. So I'm just going to put aside the ones I don't need. And then we're going to start pinning, and I'm going to have to move you at some point over to my sewing machine, so I will videotape over there. Now the smaller side is the front, the wider side is the back, and you also want to make sure you got the right side of the material. The right sides are darker. They have to be the right sides together. So what you want to do, the first step, is to pin the neckline and the shoulder line together, right sides together. Make sure they're even and straight with each other. And they don't show this on their video, but I'm going to show it on mine because I found that it helps out a lot when you go to put the bobble on the top of the neck. So I am going to find me, I will show you what I use. I mean, you don't have to do this. It's just the way I do mine because it's just, you'll find it. I'm going to use Heat and Bond. It's a no-sew material. So for some of you that don't sew, this will put your seams together. I'm just doing this for the top of the neck. I just need a little piece of it. So you can find that at Joann's or any place that sells fabric should have it. Most of the time they sell it by the yard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my iron over here. I'm going to fold down the neckline because I found that it's too tall, and it's harder to fold over once everything is sewn. So I'm going to fold it over now before I sew. And I just cut a little strip of this, and I'll show you how to use it. You're just going to lay it down. Now there's two sides to this. This is the glue side. You can tell because it's textured. This is the paper side. So you want to put the glue side down where you're going to fold it over. And then once your iron gets hot, you're going to just iron the paper onto the paper. And then you're going to peel the paper off, and the glue should be on your material. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to pick that up, but you can see the shininess. Okay, and then all you have to do, it's like double-sided tape for sewing. That's the way I look at it. So then all you're going to do is you're going to iron that. Like I said, this is how I do it, and it just, for me, it's easier when I go to put the bobble on, is to turn this over now. And I just wanted to show you all my process of how I do this. What I find easier. And just sew that. And then that's just going to be, you're going to have your nice folded over neckline. So that's what I do there. And then we are going to sew. Ow, that was hot. We're going to sew from from the top here, we're going to sew all the way around here, and we're going to do the same thing on that side. So I am going to move you to my sewing machine. We are going to complete this whole process up to the stuffing over there. So let me just move you guys over. I'll be right back. Okay, we're over by my sewing machine. It's kind of awkward. I don't really have a good way to put my camera, so just have to bear with me. So I sewed the here to here and here to here like you're supposed to. And then for the side pieces, you want to go back to that notch that you made at the top, and you want to take this off. You want to line it up with your seam there. So we're just going to line up the notches, and then we're going to pin it. And then we're going to move it down here like I've already done, and we're going to pin the bottom, even up the bottom. Then we're going to go back up to the top, and we're going to start pinning up there. And the best way to, I think if you're a newbie at sewing, the best thing to do is to pin, pin, pin. My stepmother taught me how to sew, and she always said that pinning, pinning a lot helps, you know, to make sure that your seams line up, and it keeps everything in place as you're sewing. So materials help too. I mean, certain materials I find are really hard to sew. So then you just pin that, and then you're going to want to do the other side. So I'm going to sew this. So we're just going to start at the bottom, and we're going to sew all the way up to the shoulder point. Make sure you backstitch. So that side is stitched, so you're going to have a nice seam there, and then you're just going to want to stitch up the other side, and you're going to want to do the same to the back side. So let me just stitch this real quick, and I do the same thing on the back sides. This is the back side of the dress form, and you want to pin it at the top, and you want to pin it at the bottom, and then you want to sew up the backs. And I will fast forward through this one. Back to my table, and we will complete this project because that's all the sewing you do. You sew the neck and these two side pieces onto the front and back. Okay? Okay, we're back over to my table, and we're going to finish this up here. Let me just move this out of the way. Okay, so you have your pattern, and we're going to turn it. First, I totally forgot to do this earlier, but it's a good time now to do it. We want to clip the corners here, the curved edge of the shoulders, just because it'll sit nicer when you turn it inside out and you start stuffing it. So just clip that like that, and then just turn it inside out. Sorry, my sleeves are driving me nuts. Okay, so we have that turned inside out, and then we're going to get the stuffing, and we're going to start stuffing it. You just want to make sure you get a little up in that neck part. Because I found that if you don't put any in, it like bends over. So, and don't worry about pushing any out, because you can always push it back in when you go to put the bobble up there, or whatever you choose to use. And then just keep stuffing it. You want to put a little more in the top part in the front to give some curves to it. Make sure you stuff the shoulders. Kind of just work with it. It depends on what kind of material that you're using, that you might end up with a little bulges where you don't want bulges. I love this fabric. It's very cute. I like the teals and the purples together. So just work the stuffing around, just like if you were to do a stuffed animal or whatever. So when you get it to where you want it, make sure you got enough stuffing in there to make it nice and firm. I guess I didn't need that. Then you cut out one of the patterns is going to be for a 1/4 inch piece of foam board. So, and it even says it right on it. So this is the base. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to push this in here. And push it up about 1 inch. This way your dress form can be nice and firm. And then we're going to hot glue this onto here. So I'm going to start with my sides. And if you see, that's all I'm doing is putting some hot glue in there and folding my sides over. And I'm going to work with it a little just to to make sure that it's the way I want it. And then the other oval circle is you cut from a piece of felt, and you cut one, and I use felt that matches the dress form, and then you're just going to want to put, you can do the hot glue on here, or you can do it on the dress form. Either way, it might be harder to do it on here because of picking it up. And then you just want to put it over where you want it and push it down. In this case, I'm going to push down like this. There. And then that would be your bottom. So it's nice and finished. And then you want to find whatever you're going to use for your bobble top. And I'm just like kind of folding it over up here. And then I'm going to make a point here. Like that. And I used a bead cap on top, and I'm going to push this. This is going to go down into the I'll try to get some of that out that has the glue on it. Okay. So this is just going to push down into this foam. Okay, so I have this bead cap, or this bead, I have this bead with this cap on it, and I'm going to use it for the bobble on top. And we're just going to stick some more glue in here. And I'm just going to stick that down. And it's just going to glue like that. That's why you want to make sure that you get enough stuffing in the neck. Because then you end up with, see, you end up with this neck. I mean, I'll probably end up putting, stuff around the neck. But that's that. That's your dress form. I'm going to trace the base around the bottom so that I can have this glue, so I can glue this underneath when I'm done. So I'm just going to trace this. So I can cut that out and glue that on the bottom when I'm done. Okay, so we have that. That'll be ready for when we want to glue it on the bottom. So I'm just going to take some gesso and I'm going to paint the bottom. Dry. You do another coat, and then you pick out the paint you want to do the bottom with. And I'm going to... Okay, let's paint this base. What I have to do is I have to take this outside, and like I said before, I have to spray it with, this is the stuff I use. I have to take it up on my deck and do it because it's snowing, but I use the Rust-Oleum Gloss Clear. This stuff is awesome. I use this. It's fast drying, non-yellowing, and UV resistant. I use this on everything that I have to seal. So I am going to be right back. I'm going to take this outside. Okay, I am back from freezing my little tush off outside, and we are going to glue this to the top of this, and we are going to start embellishing the Dressform or the Dressform stand. I'm going to put some E6000 on here, and then I'm going to stick some hot glue on here. This baby's cold. I wouldn't be surprised if my hot glue freezes up on me. And then we're going to try to get it right in the middle. And we're going to stick that on there. So then we got our Dressform on here. The other thing we need to do, oh, I should have did this first and I didn't. See, I do things backwards. The other thing we need to do is, usually I put this on before I put the Dressform on, and I didn't, so this is going to be a challenge. Oh, what the heck, I like challenges anyways. So we're going to put some of this on here. This is E6000, in case you don't know. I'm sure you all know. Oops, I can't actually set it down, so it's just going to have to dribble. I want to put some of this on here. And then we're just going to push this down on here. Now, I made it so that it will overlap. So it will overlap the Dressform bottom. I'm going to trim it around, but it's easier to do it that way because then it lays nice and flat and it doesn't suck in to the candle holder. Okay, hi guys. I just wanted to come back real quick and show you my finished, the finished decorated Dressform that I did the tutorial earlier on. Anyway, so as you know, we did the up here. I didn't like the neck, so what I did was I took some Recollections white trim and I went around the neck, and then I took this. These are actually, sorry, these are actually pearl strands that, you know, they're usually connected, and I cut them apart, and then I used some alcohol inks to color them purple, and so they'd blend in with the purple theme. And then down here, this is a homemade flower. I just took some of the material and some tulle and made a quick flower, and it actually does come off. I used a pin, and she can take that off if she wants. If she does not want that on there, I just kind of did that for a little extra. And then of course down here you saw, I think I stopped when I got done doing this. So that is the purple Dressform, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.